everyone, it's your handy friend Kelly here. So it's been a while since I made any videos, and truth be told, I was criticized and it made my self-confidence go boo in the toilet, and I thought, I am not qualified to make these videos or help anybody because I'm not a professional and I don't know the correct terminology or have the know-how to do certain things. But after some time, I realized that's what this whole YouTube thing is about, is giving people the confidence when we don't know what we're supposed to do or how to fix something, but to try to do it ourselves. So if I can get over my inadequacies or the ability of not to be able to speak properly and put myself out there, then you certainly can try to fix something in your house yourself. So today we are going to look and dive into my toilet because it's been acting crazy. So we are gonna do that today. Okay, so this is one of the toilets in my house. And when you take off the lid, we can see that the water is way higher than that water line. And because of that, it's been acting really strange. The first thing that happened that initiated this problem was that the handle broke on my toilet, which is an easy fix, and I'll go over that as well. But then the water was going too high. And then it started making horrendous noises. And actually in the middle of the night was acting like it was possessed and like making all kinds of calls for me to come and inspect it. It was very creepy. But anyway, as I flush, you're gonna see some things happening in here. Sorry, my video's not very good. So to fix the very noisy toilet that is also leaking water, I have here a fill valve replacement kit for the toilet. My toilet is very old, from 1994. So the internal mechanisms is outdated, and this is the newer version, the updated technology, which hopefully is quieter and won't waste any water, in turn won't waste my money. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna replace this fill valve. The first step in working on your toilet is we want to turn off the water and empty the tank. And so we just do that by turning off the water source and then flushing it and allowing all that water to drain out. There'll still be a little bit at the bottom that will leak on the floor, so I'm going to get a garbage can and a rack to be prepared to collect that water. All right, underneath the toilet where your water valve goes in, there's a area you're going to unscrew to disconnect the water, and this is where the water that's remaining in the tank is going to come out. And this is clean water. Don't be afraid. Okay, now that we have that, we're going to unscrew this other nut that's on here that's holding in part of the internal mechanism. So I'm going to get a tool to unscrew that. This nut off was very difficult because I was wedged up against the wall and the puppy felt like she needed to be with me. But once you get that nut off, this piece will lift off. Now this tube was connected to it and I just pulled it off. And so there is our old fill valve, which is gross. So that's off, and this stays. This is also part of a kit that you can replace. If you do have a lot of water leaking out, your rubber flapper here could be damaged around the ring, and it's only a few dollars to replace that. Even for this whole piece and the rubber seal down here, it wasn't much to buy. the parts to replace that as well. But I don't think I need that. I think I just need this fill valve, so we're gonna start with that. Also, just so you know, if you break your handle, if it breaks, like my plastic just broke off, this is super easy to replace. You just unscrew it, put on a new one, and screw it back in. And it only costs a couple dollars. Like, I think that was $6 or $7. Okay, so this is the new valve, which the directions say we're going to adjust the height. So we want to push it down till this area, where my thumb is 1/2 inch below the top of this drain area. Okay, so this needs to be 1/2 inch, which it's very hard to tell at this angle, but I'm guessing that that's about 1/2 inch. Once it says to do that, once you find your height, you're going to take it out and then turn that to lock it into the right position. Because see, this is adjustable for your height of your toilet tank. Let me show you this with one hand. See, it can go up and down. So we're finding the correct height, that this water level, that line is 1 inch below the top of this drain cylinder. Once you get that locked into place at the correct height, you're going to place it into the toilet tank like that, and then you're going to use the nut that came with it underneath the toilet and tighten it into place, just like that. Now we have to attach the refill tube, is what this is called, and this is going to go from here to whatever your tower, this is what they call this, is a tower system. So it really depends on what kind of toilet you have. Now I'm noticing that this tube does not fit in that hole like the other tube we had did. So I'm gonna have to rig it, which I just took that off. And there is a special clip that I can put at the end of this tube to hold it onto this tower. And I am definitely gonna have to trim this. I'll just use some scissors to trim it. But first I'm gonna put that clip in, and then I can trim it to the right size. Okay, as you can see, I trimmed this tube and I attached it to this area and with this clip into the other tube. And the directions are really clear on this kit. Now it's telling me to reconnect the water underneath the toilet, and it does say to hand tighten only, and it also told me to hand tighten this nut only too. So we don't want it too tight. Okay, so I turned the water supply on, and it did tell me that 3 different areas there's water going to be coming out. Right here, at the very bottom, and then right here. And then it has me open up this valve. We'll turn refill adjuster dial declockwise to open. Oh, that's counterclockwise. So that's clockwise, that's correct. And so it's filling up. And now we just want to make sure that this water is not going to get too high where it goes into this tube. And I did wipe out the toilet, so you can see a bunch of stuff, debris floating around, because I took a paper towel and I cleaned up all the rust at the bottom. Now the direction tells us to go ahead and flush. And we're going to wait 2 minutes to see where the water line is on our toilet inside, and it wants me to mark it. So the directions had me mark the inside of the toilet with a pencil of where the water initially stopped. And it wants you to make sure that when you flush, that the water inside the bowl stops at the line the same time the inside of the tank fills. And if it does not line up, you're going to use this valve to adjust it. Okay? It's taken several times of adjustments to get it just right. It took a few adjustments to get the water level correct in the bowl in the tank, but it wasn't difficult at all. Just follow the directions in the kit. And thank you so much for joining the Handy Helper. See, I'm not an expert, I'm not a plumber, but we did it, and hopefully my tank won't be so loud and be possessed anymore. So thanks.